All right. We're making hot and sour soup today. We are in a different kitchen at the mother-in-law's place in Austin, Texas. So I am being tasked with making hot and sour soup. And okay, here are the ingredients. The most important ingredient actually is pork. To be honest, there's no rhyme or reason to this particular pork. It's really just the cheapest pack of pork that I could find at the grocery store. We got some chicken broth, got some different kinds of mushrooms, got some shiitake mushrooms here, arbol chili, tofu, so we've got silken tofu here, some eggs, and the most important thing here is black vinegar. So we're doing black vinegar here. This is a Taiwanese brand of black vinegar that has some pretty distinct flavors to it. And then we got soy sauce, sesame oil, and I'm guessing this is potato starch or cornstarch, one or the other. So, what are you going to do first? I'm going to slice the marinade our pork. These are pretty thinly sliced pieces of pork, so we're going to cut these into strips. And here we are going to add a little bit of sauce. So you can add maybe about 1 teaspoon of soy, maybe about ½ teaspoon of sesame oil, sugar. That's actually about this much sugar. And some, I'm guessing this is potato starch. until we slice everything else up. I'm going to slice two slices of ginger and just toss it in there, and then we're going to place some other cherries. I'm going to take about 3. Oh, these are sizable marble chili. This is pretty big, so we're going to just use these 2. And we're not even going to bother soaking these. We're just going to chop these up really nice and thin. And if you're like kind of afraid of your fingers getting spicy, you can wear some gloves, but I'm just too lazy. So we are going to add these seeds and all, because we want the spice. Not called hot and sour soup for nothing. But generally, for about like 3 small herbal chilies will be good for this batch of soup. And we're just going to add it. Gonna add straight to the plate. So I'm going to slice these guys up. Oh, there we go. Slice these guys up. You can slice them however thin or thick you want, depending on how you want to chew on some mushrooms. Definitely, I think mushrooms is just as important to hot and sour soup as the pork is, and so it just imparts a ton of flavor. Not used to my mother-in-law's knives. How is everybody doing today? We also have these crab mushrooms. We're just going to cut the stems off. Well, I might as well start this too. I'm going to just started heating the stove at medium heat. Oh. Not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of tofu packaged like this. There we go. So we got our pork, we got our electric stove that will take absolutely forever to start cooking or heating up. And also, what's up with this? Oh man. Sure. Alright, first step. I'm going to brown the pork, then remove it, then we're going to saute the mushrooms, and then we're going to add in the broth. That's pretty much the process. This pot is probably a bit too big, but either way, it'll be fine. I don't even know when was the last time I cooked on an electric stove. Good Lord. So there's actually quite a bit of sugar on the pork. So you do want to prevent it from burning. And so this pie is like warped, and so it's not having full contact with the flat top stove. So the center is the hottest part. So I need to like press the pot up against That's the pot up against the hot countertop. So you don't need to cook it all the way. We're just going to brown the outside, mainly to impart some bond to the bottom of the pan, and that'll also help season up some of the veggies. Then from here we add our mushrooms. Other mushrooms. We're going to add a little bit of oil. Turn up on high. With a little bit of water to allow us to deglaze all the pork goodness on the bottom. This would definitely be better if it were a stainless steel pot, but I did not find a stainless steel pot. And then we're going to let it steam up, let it cool up faster. There you go. Now, nothing. Take a look at that. No, nothing. Nothing here. Nothing here. Nothing there either. How's it going, everyone? Nope. This is not an ingredient to hot and sour soup. Just letting you know. Okay. So, it's steaming up now. So that's good. Now that it's steaming up, you can let it reduce a bit, and then we'll add in the broth. We got 3 32-ounce boxes of chicken broth. How's it going, everyone? Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring this to a boil. And then oh my god, electric stove. Can't say that I'm a fan. All right. I'm going to cover. I'm going to bring it to a boil. We are making some soup. That's right. We're going to make some hot and sour soup where the main ingredients is where we sauteed some pork. We got some I did not add garlic. This recipe, it could use garlic, it wouldn't hurt, but generally not garlic. Specifically ginger, arbol chilies. The pork is marinated in some soy, sesame oil, sugar, and cornstarch. And the most important ingredient is black vinegar. This is a Taiwanese brand of black vinegar that provides a pretty unique flavor. It sounds weird, but adding half an orange to a soup is really great. Yeah, some citrus would not be bad with this. I wouldn't be surprised if some people add that to hot and sour soup. But yeah, citrus in general, it's pretty great. We have some nice ingredients. Thank you. They're all readily available here in Austin at 99 Ranch and HEB, so it's pretty convenient. But yeah, all right. So, next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a potato starch slurry. So, what is that? It's essentially just maybe about a third cup of potato starch. And you have a nice day too. We're going to dissolve it in some water. And so, so generally you just take some water and you stir the water in, and it will set over time. So even because I did this a little bit early, if I wanted to, generally what you would do is you make the slurry right immediately before making the soup. But just felt like demonstrating this. So what this does is it will help you thicken the soup, and even more importantly is after that, it allows you to make the little egg drop soupy strands that we'll be demonstrating in a little bit. And we could crack some eggs while we are at it. How's it going, everyone? Seriously. There are things in place. Almost ready to go. Now we're just waiting for the water to come to a boil. How's everyone Friday doing? Everyone's off work, not doing anything. Plans for the weekend. You can see this thing here. Hey Yofi, how's it going? Jing. What's going on? Sherry. Just naming people as they go, as we're waiting for water to boil. And then it'll get more exciting, promise. I think probably should prep another dish. Like whenever I do these streams. Like a dish that then while we're waiting for something to boil, we can do something else. All right, I think we are at a point things are not quite yet. Let's wait until it starts boiling more thoroughly here. All right, the soup is boiling. Our cornstarch is stirring. We're going to make sure that any cornstarch on the bottom that may have settled at the bottom, you gotta mix it up a bit. I'm gonna give this a stir and pour it all in all at once. Generally, if you had a thicker slurry, you'd have to be careful about stirring it in, but because we already dissolved it, we're pretty good. So you can see here, the soup is getting thicker and more goopy. You can see it's kind of bubbling up and rotating a bit. So this is actually a good time to, this is a good time to add the eggs. So what I'm going to do is stir this. I'm going to drop a little bit. And then I'm going to give a stir and drop a little bit. Another stir, drop a little bit. And a stir. There we go. Let it heat up a bit. There we go. Drop a bit more. Yeah, that's a bit much. Alright, we got our eggs in. Then from here we can add our pork back. And then we can add the tofu. Oh, there we go. Alright. And now here's when we want to give it a taste. So at this point it should be a little bit overly salty and it should be a little bit too spicy. That's because in about a half hour that tofu is actually going to absorb a bunch of that, a bunch of the salt, a bunch of the spice. It's not bad. I think over time it'll be less spicy. So now we're going to add the black vinegar. We're going to add maybe about a whole cup of vinegar. Give it a stir. Again, so because the tofu is going to absorb so much of the flavor, you want it to be just a bit too sour, a bit too vinegary, because after a half hour, everything's going to mellow out. Oh, I'm gonna add some more. And that's the crazy thing about soup. You always gotta, you know, do it to taste. Man, seriously, just a little bit more. Okay. I think that'll be good. So yeah, at this point you can serve it immediately, right? But like I said before, right now it's like a little bit too spicy, a little bit too salty, a little bit too vinegary, right? So that's after a half hour, it's going to mellow out. And definitely the next day, you can definitely reset it. If it is not spicy enough, the way to go would be to have some white pepper. Add some white pepper at the table. Also, if it's too spicy, you can also have some cilantro and green onion to mellow everything out. And that's about it. That's some hot and sour soup right here. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll make this into a tutorial video with step-by-step instructions if you're interested. And I'll see you around.